Hey there, I'm Michaela with Michaela's Counseling, and I'm doing a video in response to somebody's comment. And thanks so much to those of you who have been commenting. I want to address a comment to my things to do about an emotional flashback, and it was asking about, but what if I'm being, I don't remember, how exactly did you word it? I think I've got it in front of me here. You said that you're being flooded with flashbacks. It seems to happen all at once, and they seem to be. It actually spirals to different time periods. And so, what it sounds like essentially is you're having an experience where you're being kind of overwhelmed, like all this information is coming in at once, and your brain and your body, of course, can't assimilate things that fast. And so there are a couple things that tells me about what's likely going on for you. And of course, if we were working together, I'd have a lot more questions and want to find out kind of specifically how this worked for you so that we could detect the patterns and kind of find a specific plan of action for the different facets of this. But one thing is the fact that you're having flashbacks spiraling from different time periods. Obviously, you've been through a lot. And so your brain and your body are trying to alert you to a lot of different things. And there's a lot of information, a lot of feelings, a lot of sensations, and a lot of times that you have felt endangered and you haven't had the support, you haven't had the help, or the safety for long enough for all those things together to actually be able to assimilate all that different information. So there's some disconnection from parts of your past, and there's some flooding that's going on. So that's one thing that I can surmise from that. And so I'm sorry that you've been through so much stuff in your life. Obviously, it's been really difficult. Um, what else do I know from that? Well, my guess is that there is a part of you, or maybe different parts of you, that are really working to communicate with you, because that's one thing that flashbacks are often trying to do is, well, two different things. One is they're acting as an alert that, hey, you need to look out. You need to watch out. These bad things have happened, and you need to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And so we develop vigilance around reminders of different things that might bring up the reminder of that experience, because our brain it's vigilant, it's on the alert for things that might indicate danger right now. And so that's one piece of what might be happening. And then another piece of what might be happening is that there's a part, or more than one part of you, that is really just wanting to get your attention, get somebody's attention, and be heard. There are these things that they want you to know about their experience. So like in the video on emotional flashbacks, I talked for a little bit about how the feelings that you have are like a postcard. They're like a feeling visual postcard from a younger you. And they're saying, hey, pay attention to this. This is what it was like for me. And so with these two different pieces, they're actually obviously two different approaches that you'd want to have. These are different purposes or different reasons that our brain and body can bring back flashbacks. So the first reason is about safety. And if there's a part of you or parts of you that are really trying to keep you vigilant and are flooding you with these images and feelings, and they're wanting to make sure that you stay safe now, the first thing to do is to really orient to what's happening right here, right now. And so as you're watching this video, I want you to look around the room, or wherever it is that you are, and really notice, ask yourself, am I safe right now? And let yourself feel, let yourself see exactly what's happening just in this moment right now. And if you're safe, tell yourself that. See if you can get that message to the different parts of you, to your emotions, to your body. I'm safe right now. I've got another video called How to Stop a Flashback, or Flashback Halting Protocol. You might check that out. And that's all about bringing in the awareness of what's happening in this moment so that you're able to acknowledge to yourself, even as I'm having this flashback, I know that here I am in the year 2016 and I'm in this room and I can see these things and I'm safe. And so, are you safe right now? And if you are safe right now, I'm hoping that you are, since you're watching this video. And often too, when we have flashbacks, when those start coming through, often there is some safety, and our body and our mind, they're smart in some ways, and they're going, hey, this person has some safety, and I want to start getting healing and resolution on this stuff right away. So I'm presuming that you're safe. at this moment that you're watching the video. And then another thing is, we have unpredictable things happen in life, of course, but in general, are you able to keep yourself safe? Are there ways that you have that you can prevent those things from happening? So, really good example is if you grew up in with some really abusive people, or there was some bad stuff that went on in the town that you grew up in. Have you moved? Are you in a different place now? Do you actually have your own place to live with locks, or are you with a partner that's really protective and has been really safe for you? Do you have a dog? Tell yourself, really walk yourself through, kind of like you're orienting like a kid who's new to your house and is really, really scared because their life has been a lot of terror up to this point. Think about like what you would actually want them to know about the house. You might actually show them the locks on the doors and how to make those work. You might actually show them, like, that they have a voice, and what they can say or how they can get your attention if they're feeling unsafe. All these different things. So you might actually walk yourself through like what in your situation right now tells you that you're safe and that you can stay safe, and just play with those little pieces. And like I said, do it like you're orienting a kid that just came in from like an orphanage or from like an abusive family. And what would you want that kid to know? I'd want the kid to know that there was food in the fridge that they were welcome to. I'd want them to know what was around that was soothing. I'd want them to know about the locks on the door. I'd want them to know that I'm available. So all of that kind of thing can be really, really helpful for orienting to the here and now. And then, this question has so many different pieces to it, that I actually wrote some notes on this that I'm looking for now. Yeah, so another one is that, if you're able to orient to a sensation in your body, that's associated with something that can give you a sense of stability. Convoluted phrase, but a really common one is just press your feet into the ground for a moment. Just press them into the floor. And a couple things about that. One is that you can feel the ground beneath you, which is grounding. Another is that, feeling the strength of your legs pressing against the floor. That might be a useful one. I talked in the video about the emotional flashback and different things to try, that you might actually identify a sensation that's coming with a flashback and then do something to introduce a different sensation. So if you're feeling cold, get something warm, that kind of thing. Now, I know that you're talking about multiple flashbacks at once, and so my guess is that you might actually have competing sensations that are happening in your body, or competing images. And so there's more kind of detangling to do, where you almost are going to need to isolate out the different pieces. So, okay, I'm having one component of memory that's making me feel hot, in my face. I'm having another component of a memory that's making my legs feel tingly. So you might actually start noticing, A, sensations that are resourcing for you, and B, what are the sensations of the different memories, because those will give you some clues on some other sensations that you can bring in. And then another thing is that sometimes we might have different parts that are communicating about their flashbacks, and what they're doing is they're sending out a distress cry to us. And one thing that you might do is actually check within yourself. And I don't know if it's kind of like, I'm not sure exactly how this is working for you, but often with complex trauma or trauma over a lot of time, which is the kind of thing that would often lead to a lot of flashbacks at once, um, there are parts of you that are really needing your attention, and sometimes you can actually communicate with these parts. And so let's go back to the image of, let's say that you had like a little girl move into your home, and she'd been through a lot of horrible things. And now imagine that she was coming to you all the time, and she was talking, very, very quickly, and saying, and then this happened, and then this other time, this other thing happened, and then this other thing happened. Can you imagine? So that is a child that is really desperate to communicate and to have all the different parts heard. And the issue with that kind of communication is that it actually doesn't give you a chance to focus on the different pieces of her experience. So if she's blurting it out that quickly, you're going to be concerned about maybe the trembling that's happening in her body, or if she's kind of spacing out while she talks, and your focus is going to be on like how to make her feel better right now. If she wants you to really hear about those memories, you can't because it's too much information at once. So you might imagine asking the part inside or the parts inside that are maybe really working to convey distress from a lot of different times to you at once. Say, hey, you have had a lot of really bad experiences, or I have had a lot of really bad experiences. If you picture it as a different part and say you, it can actually work better, can help you get a little bit of separation so that then you can actually imagine that there's a part that's handing you all this data and say, and I really want to hear the different pieces of this. I want to sort through this. I want to hear you. I want to hear the pain that you've been through. And in order to do that, I need you to slow down. Could we do this one piece at a time? Because my brain can't take in this much information at once. So for one thing, right now you're safe, and let's look at that and check that out together. And for another thing, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time to sort through these different memories, and you can find the care, you can find the support that you need to really do this piece by piece, so that you can actually work through the different details. And what often will happen once you find like good therapy and good support is once you sort out how to feel safe right now, and once you work with the way that those memories play out in your body, it may be that you don't even need to go through each individual one. But if there are a whole bunch of different experiences that are really needing discrete attention, there are ways to work with that. I had a client once that was actually getting flooded with a lot of different feelings and memories, and we had a session where I talked with her about it, and it turned out that there was a part of her that was really afraid that we were going to lose track. It was like she was being really vigilant to keeping my client safe, yeah, but to also making sure that we were paying attention to her and to the different pieces of what was going on. And so in one session, I asked that we actually just take some time to stop and write down everything that was important to her. And I said, I'm going to hang on to this list of priorities. I'm going to make sure that we don't miss any of it. And so if we do that, would it be okay for this part to kind of turn down the volume, or would it be okay for this part to rest for a little bit? And that part was actually really really relieved. It was like, okay, somebody's got the list, we're gonna get to it, and that client's distress went down. And so we want to tend to it. If there's a piece of you that's really wanting to make sure that you're hearing or that somebody's hearing, you might make a list and let her know that you'll get to it. You might even let her know that you're going to rally some support, or you're going to find somebody that you can work with on these different pieces. But make sure that you make commitments to the parts of you that you're actually willing to keep. I'll keep putting out different tools on flashbacks because there's so many different things and so many different components. And what I'm hoping for you is that one of these tools resonated in some way. So please feel free to comment again. I'd like you to, and let me know if any of this resonated or if there's a follow-up question. And thanks for keeping me thinking. And I'm hoping that you'll find these tools helpful and find a lot of other ones that can help you as well. Oh, one last thought is, if you take a moment that you're not having a flashback and you put together almost like a self-care kit, that can be really helpful. For some people, it's actually like a container of stuff, and it might be like good memories that you have written down. It might be a client of mine made like a whole a file on her computer that was just all about therapy tools that she had for difficult moments, and she was actually able to categorize. So she could have had like a subsection for flashbacks and a subsection information for like when she's having difficulty in relationships. So you don't need to make a whole kit right now, although you might make like something where you've got like a stuffed animal and you've got written affirmations and you've got, you know, whatever else helps you. But you might start actually writing down somewhere just different tools so that you can have them at hand. One of my clients kept a list of things to do when she had a flashback in her iPhone, and once we had a solid, robust toolkit, she was able to actually pull out of any flashback within, you know, within a few minutes just by pulling up that file on her phone. So there's so many different things that you can do with this, not only to help diminish the impact of the flashbacks and make it so that your life is good and livable today and you're building your safety and your security and your support in the current moment. There's work that you can do on that, and there's work that you can do to actually heal the effects of the trauma in a really profound way. And so there's so much hope. And I will talk to you soon and be bringing more tools in. Thank you.